Hello angels, Miss Quiet Queen, and welcome back. Well, I'm going to do a video right now on a topic it's very dear to me. It's very sacred to me for some reason. I have a subscriber that she sent me a few emails today, and she piqued my curiosity. She wanted to know more about incarnation and past lives. She wanted to know personally about my past life experiences. And she asked a lot of good questions, and I was very intrigued and impressed with her questions and where her head was concerning it. I thought, I was asked about this before, this topic, and I never touched on it. I never even replied because it's so sensitive to me. I don't want to talk about all of my past lives. I know that I've been here hundreds of times. I've incarnated. You come back as many times as you want. People think you got to keep coming back till you get it right. No, that's not how it works. You choose to come back. Okay? There are lessons that you need to learn. This is something that you need to learn or want to know. You come back and you live that particular life until you learn that lesson. But one of the reasons why I don't like talking about it, as I said, is because it's so personal, and being that I know I'm being watched and paid attention to, I don't want certain people to know everything about me. I already divulged a lot of information. I just, there's a lot of people already trying to get in my head spiritually. So you have to know how to combat. That's one reason. Another reason is I talk about a lot of things like that in my book. Now, y'all know I don't charge y'all for anything right now, but when the book comes out, of course, I'm going to want you to buy the book. I'm thinking about doing audio books, but I like hard copy. I'm from the old school. So anyway, it's going to be in the book, but I will tell you right now about a past life that I had. Now, I had, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of past lives. Many of them I do remember. Some of them are faint. Sometimes if certain things come on TV, or you go to a certain, like you go travel out of the country, you might go to Greece and something just feels so familiar. Maybe you lived there before. I have several, there are several lives that I remember. But there are 6 lives, 6 or 7 lives that I remember distinctly as if they happened yesterday. As I said, I'm not going to really get into it right now. Some are too personal to talk about. Others are in the book. I don't mind discussing them, but it's in the book that I'm writing. But one that I'm talking to you about right now is not in the book. I don't think I'm going to put it in the book. It's my past life before this one. It was in, let me see. I think it was in the early 20s, around the Roaring 20s. Some of you may have heard of the Roaring 20s. I was a black woman, melanated. Some people say melanated. I hate when people say that, but I was a black woman. Very, 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 very dark skin. I was considered unattractive. I considered myself unattractive. I was a maid. I cleaned houses of rich people. I was used a lot. I think I prostituted myself on the side to make extra money. I had a little boy. I was a single mother. His father used to beat me, and he left me. He left us. And I was abusive to my son. At that time, he was about 8 or 10. No, he's about 8. Something like that. And I had a really nice house and nice furniture. I remember that distinctly. And I just remember being sad all the time, and I blamed him for everything because there was no one else around. And I was just a very sad individual, and would remember thinking, why do I have this life? Why am I going through this? And men would come in and out of my house just for one thing, because I was good at that, if you get my drift. But that was all they wanted. And so I just took it out on my little boy. But here's the thing. There's a couple of twists to this that's really amazing. That's why I enjoy reminiscing about this past life. One thing is that I died in front of him. I remember it, y'all, just like it just happened. I had a heart attack. And I heard my angels say, call out my name, whatever my name was at the time. I don't remember what it was. And they said, it's time to come. It's time to come home, or some words to that effect. Are you ready, or something like that. I just knew I was getting ready to go. And my little boy looking at me, and he was crying, you know, not crying boo-hooing real hard, but he was like sniffing and like, oh my gosh, you didn't know what was going on. And I grabbed his face, his little face. I could just remember this so clearly. And I said, I'm sorry. I love you. And he said, I love you too. And I said, I'm so sorry for everything I've done. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Do you forgive me? Please forgive me. Will you please forgive me? I knew I needed him to forgive me before I left. I told him, he said, Mommy, what's going on? I said, I've got to go, but I want you to forgive me. Please, will you forgive me? And he said, yes, I forgive you. I love you, Mommy. So I passed away. I fell down on the floor. He knew enough to get help, and I died. Here's another amazing point to this. I remember being about 7 or 8 years old, and I used to astral travel all the time when I was little, but I didn't know that's what it was. Remember my sister and I, Dee Sear, if y'all haven't gone to her channel, go to it. She's getting ready to do some more videos. She's getting ready for y'all. But she and I used to sit in our room, and we said, do you fly at night? Yeah, I fly all the time. We just travel all the time. We would travel into each other's dream. We got a lot of videos. I'm going to let her put up those videos when we were little girls, and we used to astral travel all the time and see each other. Amazing. But anyway, when I was that little, I remember having an astral traveling event, and I saw this little boy. And he was getting, as I was looking at him, I was a child, and I saw him getting older and older and older. And I was hearing words in the back of my head, whispering in the back of my ear, you know what I mean? And it was real faint. It started out faint. It was getting louder and louder, and I couldn't understand what the words were until when this little boy got to be an older man, the words that I was hearing was, that's your son. 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 That's what I was hearing. That's your son. And I remember feeling like I'm 8. He's like 70. How is that possible? You know, but then as I got older, as I was getting older, going through adolescence and my teenage years and things like that, I remember still feeling him and reminiscing about how I was feeling as a child. It was a weird feeling. It was like, I know him. I do know him. He is so familiar. And I realized when I was a little girl, about 10 or 11, and I was dreaming about him just before he died, that he was my son. He was still alive while I was like 10 or 11 years old, and he came to me and said, Mom, I know you're back, or I know you're around. I could feel your essence. I could feel your energy, because he was very spiritual. And I felt him. And I asked him again to forgive me. And as a child, I was saying, I love you and I'm sorry. And, maybe we'll meet again. Sometimes I feel like my son, Jeremiah, is him again, but I haven't told him that, so y'all the first ones to know that. But anyway, it's deep, man. I got so many things that I could tell y'all on that, but I'm not going to get all into it. like I said, my sister Dee Sear, go to her channel, she's going to be putting up a lot of videos about that. And so I don't want to take away, since we're sisters, we have a lot of things in common. A lot of our experiences are linked. So we talk to each other. So I'm going to let her talk about certain things and I stay on certain topics. But it's very interesting. I know she hasn't put up a video in a while, but please go to her channel. If you haven't subscribed already, you won't regret it. She's going to be putting up some really, really good videos for y'all soon. Yeah. And, yeah, I want to get into it. I'm going to do another video and tell you guys some other things. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to tell you about, reincarnation and, you know, past life experiences. I don't want to talk about other ones right here on this video. Just look forward to the book. The book probably won't be ready for a while, y'all, because there's so much going on in my life. And you know, there's some people that's trying to prevent it, but the more they try, the more is going to happen. So I'm using that energy. I'm using that negative energy. And if you are interested in learning how to use negative energy to gain positivity, if that makes sense, let me know, because that's one of the things that I'm working on right now, to create positive things out of negative energy. So I hope that helped. I hope that interest piqued your interest or satisfied your curiosity. And until next time, angels, stay in the light.